Kathy, if you'd like to introduce the four dharmas of Gampopa as we approach 10 o'clock.
So contemplating the four dharmas of Gampopa, grant your blessing so that grant your blessing so that my mind may turn towards the Dharma. Grant your blessing so that the Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessing so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessing so that confusion may dawn as wisdom. All sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructions who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. All sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructions who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. All sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructions who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. As earth and the other elements together with space eternally provide sustenance in many ways for the countless sentient beings, so may I become sustenance in every way for sentient beings to the limits of space until all have attained nirvana. As the Sugatas of old gave birth to the bodhicitta and progressively established themselves in the training of a bodhisattva, so I too, for the benefit of beings, shall give birth to that bodhicitta and progressively train myself in that discipline. At this moment, my life has become fruitful. I have realized my human life. Today, I am born into the family of the Buddhas. Now, I am a child of the Buddhas. From now on, I will forthrightly perform the actions befitting my family. I will act so as not to degrade the faultlessness and discipline of my family. Just as with a blind man finding a jewel in a heap of dust, thus somehow bodhicitta has been born in me. This is the supreme Amrita which destroys death, the inexhaustible treasure which removes the world's poverty. It is the supreme medicine which cures the world's sickness, the tree which provides rest for beings weary of wandering on the paths of existence. It is the universal bridge on which all travelers may pass over the lower realms, the rising moon of mind which dispels the torment of the kleshas. It is the great sun which puts an end to the obscurity of ignorance, the pure butter which comes of churning the milk of the holy Dharma. For travelers wandering the paths of existence, seeking happiness from objects of enjoyment, it is supreme bliss near at hand, the great feast which satisfies sentient beings. Today, witnessed by all the protectors, I have welcomed the sentient beings and Sugatas. Devas and Asuras rejoice. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Welcome, everyone. So good to be here together again. We're continuing today with our investigation of the fundamentals of meditation practice, fundamentals in the sense of the keys that open the door. Sometimes we think fundamentals mean uninteresting beginner things, as opposed to if you have these keys, then you can really open up how you experience both your mind and your life. So we're relying on two sources, Pema Chodron's very wonderful How to Meditate, and His Eminence Trengor Rinpoche's Tranquility and Insight. And today we're going to work with Venerable Pema Chodron's chapter on regarding all dharmas as dreams, and it'll be an experiential exploration. So first, let's just settle our seat, how you're sitting in the chair or how you're sitting on the floor, allowing your spine to straighten as all of your muscles relax. You can push your chin a little bit in. Imagine a cord coming out the top of your head, just lifting a little. Play with tilting your pelvis so that your spine straightens. And place your leg, your thigh, directly under your foot, or if you follow your knee down, your knee is directly under your ankle. Sorry, your ankle is directly under your knee, but that will allow you to support your legs very effortlessly. You can rest your hands on your thighs or the traditional right hand or left hand in the Amitabha posture, and tongue on the roof of your mouth. So just enter into a state of relaxation first. And in this state, let's clear out all of the old stale air and refresh. You can visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas breathing in their healing light and healing energy. So we'll alternate blocking our nostril and breathing in with the nostril that's free, and then exhaling from the other nostril. And the exhalation is long and strong with the first breath, short and strong with the second breath, and even with the third breath. So start by blocking your left nostril and inhaling through your right. With both hands on your thighs, doing the same sequence with utilizing both nostrils. So first I'm going to give you just some ideas to contemplate. Here in the West, in many ways, our idea of existence is defined by the old quote, "I think, therefore I am." When you examine what being alive is to you, is it a continuous narration of your experience? Is it thoughts and memories? That sense of your self-awareness, do you connect that to whatever thoughts are occurring in your mind. And this is not a test, it's an exploration. Just think for a minute about how you define what being alive is, what experiencing is. And then just let's take this a little further. Is it a direct perception of this moment? For instance, where you are, what you're hearing, what you're seeing? Or is it the narration about the experience? What we think about the experience? Would you say for most of your awareness all day has to do with being lost in conceptual thought, or removed from direct experience and controlled by your thoughts? Really consider how much power thoughts have. Due to thoughts, we can burst into laughter, we can cry, we can become livid, depressed, functioning in desire. And then combining that layer with judgment, guilt, and sometimes it's easy to see judgment and guilt, but consider, what is your experience of happiness and delight? We just had a baby born in the Sangha. So is it the direct experience of seeing the picture, or thinking about, this baby is beautiful, this baby has the eyes open, this baby is not as beautiful as my baby? How is all of our experience intermixed, seemingly inseparable with our conceptual understanding of it? So much so that what we are experiencing is our thoughts about things, our habitual patterns, not what is right in front of us. I took a walk this morning. I'm living in a really beautiful setting right now where the sidewalk goes along the curve of the coast. And I know at other times in my life when I've been very stressed, I could walk in a beautiful setting like that, but my mind would be totally occupied by the stressful situation or the angering situation. I don't know that I would have even seen the ocean that was right in front of me. I could have easily been controlled by the narration about a story of a difficulty. Fortunately, for me this morning, it was not like that. But what I was noticing this morning was early in the morning, with the temperature difference, there's a mist that often arises from the ocean, a vapor. And I was contemplating that in relation to thoughts, in relation to how we experience our minds. So today we're looking at regard all dharmas as dreams, and as Pema suggests in this chapter, rephrase it as regard all thoughts as dreams. We certainly recognize that the dreams are ephemeral, like the mist arising from water. They may seem real to us for the moment, but we know they have no substance. For some reason, it's much more difficult to regard our thoughts as dreams, even though they have the same insubstantiality. So if you can imagine the mist rising up off the water early in the morning, it seems like a thing. It seems like, let's say, a cloud from a distance. There's a cloud. It's almost as though it has a concrete texture like cotton candy. There's a concretizing of it in my mind. I make the mist into a thing. But then if I think about it, it's only the distance that makes it appear this way. If I was on a boat going through the middle of it, I'm not sure it would be perceptible. I certainly couldn't touch it. It certainly wouldn't have a substance. And if we were trying to analyze it, we might say, well, oh, look, here's a phenomena. Is that water or is that air? When it dissolves, does it become air or does it become water? There's no way to even define what we're seeing as air or water. In essence, if we were close to it, it would be like a mirage, not like it appears from the shoreline as a cloud, but a mirage. So, taking this example from nature and taking our experience of dreams, I'm going to invite you just to allow your mind to settle where you can see, hopefully, a slowing down of your thoughts so that it's possible to see maybe a group of thoughts together, or if your mind is really calm today, one thought at a time. So let's begin with just going into that settled mind and observing the breath for a few moments so that we bring our wonderful growing skill of concentration and precision. Now gradually shift your attention from your breath to the stream of thoughts, whether it's fast or slow, not looking at the content, but looking at the nature. As you look, do they seem to abide? Do they rest somewhere? Do they have any substance that occupies space any more than mist occupies? Does there seem to be a source? Is there a pipeline? Or do they just appear? How fast do the thoughts change? Does one disappear and another appear simultaneously? Does one go away gradually and another begin slowly? What happens? Fast, slow? When the thoughts go, how do they go? Where do they go? Do they just evaporate? Do they disappear instantly or gradually? Is there a place they go to? Continue like this for another 5 minutes, letting your mind relax and just observing not the story, not the narration, not any kind of content, but what exactly are thoughts? What is their nature? How do they occur? How do they change? How do they disappear? If there's a tug to a thought and it pulls you into content or narration, just let go. Where did that thought go when you relax and let go of the content? Okay, now there's going to be a test. And the test is, hopefully that was a little bit bringing a lot of conceptual thoughts back. So testing your mind, what is the difference between when you were observing the thoughts, watching them dissolve into the space of your mind, and all of a sudden the thought of a test, judging, hopefully a little bit of shock. Do you experience the difference between a spaciousness and a claustrophobic kind of occupation by the narrative again? So let's just reflect on that a minute more. Whatever settled spaciousness you were experiencing today versus occupation by conceptuality. I think if I were sitting with His Holiness and he said there's going to be a test now, I would all of a sudden be plagued with all kinds of, am I doing it right? Oh no. But there'd be such a quick narrowing versus the spaciousness from my perspective. So I want to leave a little time for discussion, so we'll do a quick dedication and close the live portion. Bodhicitta, excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.